Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have Safwan versus Quackers over here, Sodaquackers. I believe he has his own YouTube channel, so I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. And I can see that Safwan started with this one location here. At first I thought he was going to go down here and trying to get a trade route straight away. It looks like he does have that as a plan, but it's not going to be his first objective here. So he's got barracks set up, he's got 2 towns instantly, whereas Quackers has set up his lines and he's got 3 barracks straight away. He's going to have a lot of energy in this game to start if he wanted to use it. He's got quite a few lying around his initial starting area. So he's going to have to come across this way. He may end up trying to cross the water. We'll have to find out what he decides to do. And he's going to come across here and meet Safwan probably about this area. I think Safwan's focused on going the other way. He does have some units going there, so they're going to meet probably in the middle. These 2 choke points is going to be quite interesting. He's gone for 2 factories now. He's got a barracks set up there. Safwan's got a lot of eco in his area, so he's got the town and the town there, but he's also got these 2 locations to go for. 3 of them will have docks. And this is going to be a fairly safe trade route unless Soda does decide to use naval units. And so far, it looks like Quackers is saving up a lot of his money. He wants to decide what to do with that before he actually invests it. I end up heavily going into infantry from the start, usually. That's where my money goes. But so far, it seems that both players are just going to be expanding. Expanding does take a while, but both players seem to want some cash reserves. Unless Safwan is just saving up for another factory. But he is going straight into SAM units, I believe. He's got his docks set up now, there we go. They're being built. So yeah, these, I believe, are SAM units. I think they're being built. We'll see what he's doing there. He's probably expecting some air units if that's the case. Which has literally just appeared on the map. Soda is going for some air units now. Set up some air, and he's going for more barracks. I don't know, do you guys think that it's best to save your money and decide what to do with it, or spend it as quick as you can so you get that production going quicker? What do you guys think? But to be fair, I've just noticed that Soda actually has another energy while here, but a whole city there, potentially. When he gets up and running. I do think Safwan has more potential on land grabbing. Especially if he does cross the water. He might feel the need to defend this and do that sooner. But so far, both players seem to be content on just expanding. Safwan's got these units that have already completed their role. They're at the end of their line. They're not actually progressing any further soon. Will he spot that, or is that going to be time wasted? I don't know yet. Probably won't take him too long to spot it. There we go. He's set up some lines. They can see each other now. Now, can Soda see him? Yeah, so both players can see each other at this point. Soda doesn't seem to be worried about that yet. He is bringing back a line, though. He does have more units in this direct location, so I think he should be relatively fine. And I was wrong. They're not SAM units. They are artillery coming through. I don't know why, but the base just looks almost the same. I will try and spot a difference next time I see SAM being produced. Bit of a gunfight going on here. 2 units straight off. Probably because the orange command was still up at the time, and there just isn't enough space for any more. So they've decided to stay at the front there. Which unfortunately for Quackers is 2 units lost, that he could have won that engagement, possibly. But it might not have been worth it anyway. The artillery are going to move in. There's no artillery on this line, so these artillery can just kill them for free. Unless they decide to engage soon after, but they will be protected by some strikers. We have a transport being built straight away, and that's how he's going to cross the water. As you can see, he's got the marker placed down here. And they're off already, so we've got the Commandos being produced here, and they're going to be constantly supplying that transport jet. Doesn't have an energy well set up yet, so he's still going to be trying to supply it with the initial energy that he started with. And we got the strikers being built. That's not going to take too long, but they will help take out this army here. And with what I said earlier, he's going to need to switch into Sam soon. Especially when he sees that. Is Soda building any energy yet? It doesn't look like he is, so he might not be planning to use his strikers anytime soon. His commandos are about to be dropped off there. But commandos do take a lot longer to capture territory, so we'll have to see if he's going to invest more commandos that way. He probably will. And can he see what's going on up here? Because 2 units have strayed off to take on this one. Because the way the line's set up, it does allow him to hit this 1 unit on its own there. But we do have a fair amount of forces coming up this way. So there'll be 2 engagements at a constant rate, whereas Safwan isn't really worried about that. He's focused on this area quite heavily. And I would have sent the artillery in first. Try and leave my infantry behind, because they're going to take fire and the other ones aren't. But Safwan can see this now. So his vision doing this has allowed him to see what's coming up here. But will Safwan respond to that, or is he just going to focus on the battle there? His infantry are going to take him out quicker, so he will get through there faster. He set up a energy well just there. He's got a striker coming in to try and take on this area, but they're not going to last long if that energy well isn't going to build quick enough. To be fair, I think it will build before it runs out. It's nearly complete. There we go. The only things here now are strikers, but it looks like Safwan's digging in up here, so they're both taking opposite approaches. Soda is defending down on this side, whereas Safwan is defending up on this one. Unfortunately, though, for Soda, the artillery are easily going to break this line, and they're not going to be able to attack the strikers. So hopefully Safwan is building some SAM units. Oh, they do look quite different, to be fair. I think. Yeah, I think they look different. Yeah, those SAM units will come in and protect those artillery. He hasn't managed to build up enough strikers for them to be majorly effective yet, but 2 strikers will be enough to hold him back for a while. I don't think they're going to reach the base because of those strikers. How is he collecting these lands down here? So he's got 1 territory up, and he's using a barracks to help with the infantry. So the infantry will then support the commandos trying to take over this land. But with the line that's set here, he might just be going for commandos, even in that structure there. There we go. Now Safwan's getting through. He's changed this to a flag command, which might be a bit too early because he's been hit by strikers. He either needs to get in quick or retreat to his SAM units. And it looks like Quackers has set up a defensive line up here. So neither player wanting to engage in this location. I think Quackers wants to get this area under control before he starts to engage up in this area. And some of these units are going to carry on going through because these defensive lines seem to be relatively full. They're going to prioritize this line now. And they're going to end up running straight into fire. I don't think those infantry are going to get through very easily. And this area has been ambushed through the forest by Quackers. They're coming straight through there, which is giving them a bit of stealth. And we have 2 airfields up and running now by Soda, and he's got 2 energy wells to fuel that. So at the minute, it looks like Soda may have the upper hand, even though he's not actually building artillery. He's going for tanks instead. We've got some tanks against artillery coming up. Let's have a look at the economy, because both players are trying to expand in different ways. Soda is pretty much at his max on his main area. Let's have a look. He's at 750, whereas Safwan is at 850. So he's ahead, technically, in the economy. And he is getting a naval fleet up and running. He still hasn't managed to place a town and get his trade route going yet, but that would probably be a very good next step. Looks like these infantry are going to overwhelm the artillery there. But the artillery on this defensive line have been called off. They're all going to come off this way and try and attack this area. And with the extra range they have, these defensive positions are almost useless. Even if the infantry here die, they'd have to take away the defensive positions to actually attack the artillery there. Or turn them off like Safwan has. He's taken off all units here, so no units are assigned to this line, and they're assigned to these lines instead. So he keeps the fortifications up, which is quite a smart thing to do. There we go, Safwan is on the retreat in this section now. He's building up an air force, but it looks like Quackers has spotted it, and he's sending in his strikers this way to come and try and take them out, before they build up in too large of numbers. And we got some sneaky commando tactics here. It looks like we got this line coming here, which is going to drop the commandos off right in this location. So from Safwan's perspective, he hasn't spotted this yet. These naval ships aren't in range to see this transport ship coming in. So Quackers is doing very good trying to scout out the enemy and see what's coming. It will get attacked, but one ship isn't enough to take out one transport jet yet. And seeing it coming, it looks like he has changed his lines. He knows what's coming, and he will try and take them out. We'll have to see if those commandos manage to get enough damage done. He's going to try and sneak off this way, get this energy well out of the way. Up here, the artillery have pretty much cleared out this line now. But it looks like Quackers is going to be on a bit of a push here. He's going to try and test out what he can grab. And he is still producing more and more structures there. Whereas Safwan is going to be... He's still got a decent economy coming up. And he is still trying to build artillery and SAM units. Try and hold these lines. But either way, there's two choke points to fight, and either player seems to be winning just one of them. And we have a nuke placed down. Safwan seems to be a big fan of nukes. He sent me a map recently. A match saying that he's got 16 nukes on there, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Safwan who said that. There we go, the commanders. It looks like they've gotten somewhere over that. Have a quick look. They have gotten to the energy well. That is going to end up being a pain for Safwan. And the tanks are now rolling into this front line here. And these artillery, which are not protected by SAM yet. We do have SAM units produced, but they're more protecting his eco than they are his units. Which will mean the strikers can move quite fast, so they can keep on jumping between them, finding the weak spots with no SAM units. Now Safwan can see these tanks coming in, and this is not a big enough army to stop them right now. So I think he's hoping this nuke is going to build really fast. From Soda's point of view, he doesn't know a nuke's there. So he might not worry about rushing this. He might be taking his time. He does have a good lot of production there. And on these islands, he's also producing... He's got barracks. I wonder if he's got anything over here. Just another barracks to help him produce things. There you go. To help this choke point, he's bringing in his C units to try and shoot into the land there. Any extra firepower for him right now is going to be good. And these tanks are going to take a lot of damage here, but they can also deal with that, and they're fine with it, relatively speaking. Even if they don't survive this, the infantry might be able to plow over these artillery after they're gone. Up here, the artillery haven't lasted long. The strikers have managed to take them out pretty well. And those tanks are just going to rush through and see what damage they can do now that they've made it past. So these infantry are just going to clear up what they've managed to leave behind. We have another tank rushing through as well now. And he still can't see the nuke that's on the field, or the rocket launch pad. Partly because it in itself is stealthed, and it's possibly within the forest range of stealth. But there you go, it is ready, but Safwan does not have 500 in his bank to start building that rocket, which is going to cost him some time that he might not have at this point. The enemy is within his base right now. Those commandos seem to have been cleared up. No, they haven't. They've managed to hit and escape. They're going to try and take some territory from behind and try and cause a bit of mayhem behind the scenes of Safwan's base. It looks like Quackers has run out of his main force of units there, though. So Quackers might be on the defensive for a little while. There we go. He's trying to set up his trade route. This is going to be what could change the tide of this battle so far. I think he's just trying to build up his eco to get this rocket going. But right now, Safwan does have that. Soda isn't worried about the naval forces. He's not going to worry about building one. We've just hit over 500. The 500 disappears, so this is going to start functioning now. The strikers have come in to try and clear this area before the tanks get there. And I'm not sure on this command. He's got a really wiggly command there. Which would make the strikers do a good scout there, so I think that's what that was for. The tanks do tend to retreat there instead. They don't want to plow through it. And whereas down here, he's trying to hold this defensive line, but the naval fleet is going to be trying to bombard that coastal line there, so he's not going to get his units there. When they do, they're just going to end up dying. Which is unfortunate, but these little tiny things that are happening on the match is something that's going to change the tide of the battle. There you go, the strikers are now on a run to try and take out specific targets after doing their little scout run. I think originally his tanks were going to be doing that after the strikers seek the targets, but unfortunately he just couldn't get his tanks through. So instead, and I've just spotted there's a little sneaky artillery going through that forest. Is that intentional? I think he's just sending his forces through to take out these tanks. That rocket is half built, but can he see it? He can now. So that rocket's stealth has been unveiled. Is he going to react to that and try and take it out sooner? Because if that's the case, Safwan really needs to try and protect this with anti-air. Otherwise he's going to lose it, and that's a £1,000 investment. You can tell I'm British. That's a 1,000 capital investment. There you go. Is there anything going on this island right now? No, just units. These units have been caught off on this command here. They're not actually capturing anything. But they have captured this area down here. He may have spotted that by now. He did manage to destroy this production structure, but the rocket is still in play. It's still being built anyway. These units are being supported by this very thin choke point here, with the naval fleet managing to get a lot of damage over this area. That one tank has sort of ran away a bit, but unfortunately he is getting caught out now. And he's being outranged by SAM units, as well as the artillery. I did not know SAM outranged tanks. So if you have a tank that's on your opponent's team and he's not moving anywhere, you might be able to get in there and snipe it with some SAM units, which is a bit strange. We'll have a quick look at the economy now. As time has progressed, Quackers has been forced to try and expand elsewhere and try and use his economy in different ways. So he's got 1,000 per minute, 1,080. Whereas Safwan has 1,090. So although Safwan still has control of a lot of the map he hasn't captured yet, Quackers has managed to keep up with him by expanding across these maps. Well, islands, you know what I mean. He is starting to build his own naval fleet there. Transport jets are still coming across. We have a little fleet over here trying to take some extra territory, and they spotted that transport jet going across. Again, he's got control, and this rocket is now ready, but I don't know if it's going to be much useful. He might be able to hit this area, but he might be able to take that out anyway. It might be wise to just keep this as a defensive nuke. Unfortunately, I have just spotted the Navy fleet of Safwan is taking a toll on his energy production. So this rocket cannot be fired right now until he has 20 energy left in his storage, which he only has 1 production right now, and he doesn't seem to have much other options apart from power plants. Nope, I don't see any others. There we go, so we might have to use power plants or find one that I didn't. We got a bit of a build-up of tanks there. I wonder if Quackers has more. He does. He has a few in the forest, staffed away. Right, these units being built up here is probably from Safwan, where he's trying to hold off until he's got the energy. There we go, to fire that rocket. Now he's building some production there as he's got the time to do it. That rocket's going to try and slam into that, and he's going to catch this airfield off as well. Is that going to go? Yeah, that was dead on top of it. That is unfortunate for Quackers right now. He's just lost a load of strikers, all the units here. Tanks took heavy damage, and every structure there that I can see has pretty much been eliminated now. And Safwan really needs to get these units going into this area to try and take the land, or just try and defeat the enemy there. Those strikers are going to take a lot of damage now. Most of the anti-air is over the water. There we go, those tanks are going to come straight into the front lines of this. Instead of going round, which might have been a better option, coming through here, they're going to get fired at from multiple different things. Artilleries. And they will take a lot of damage before they can actually do it this time. So Soda's probably feeling quite a bit of pressure right now. He realizes he's going to have to try and do something about this, but he lost most of his strikers earlier. So unfortunately for Soda, he is on a bit of the run right now, and he has to try and figure something out quick. Might be wise to try and build some airstrips over here, or airfields. Try and build them up while you're being attacked so that you can respond a bit later. You know, take out this economy that's going on over here that you can't see yet. To be fair, he's taken that out. I didn't spot that attack. He already has taken that out. What is going on over there? Sorry, I'm going to just walk away from the battle a bit. He snuck his commandos through. And he did manage to take some things out. He's got stuff going on up here, if you remember. So this is how he plans to come back. Although he's losing over here a little bit, he could come back from this as well. He does still have a lot going on around the map that can save him. From Safwan's perspective, he doesn't really know about what's going on up here. You can see he's losing territory, if he's being observant enough. Over here he's got haste mode on, so they're going to lose some health, but he's trying to get to this energy well. And he's changed it from haste mode now, so don't worry. And I think that will be enough to take on those, but his navy fleet's going to suffer now. They're in the right place, though. And they will start taking these out, even though they're out of energy. That just means they can't move. And he has these guys going this way. They're going to try and take on this cruiser. But there is quite a lot of them. How much navy fleet did Soda actually manage to build? He hasn't got much anymore. To be fair, there might have been some fighting on that. Okay, so Safran's perspective, you can see that there's a ship there. He's going to try and take the territory there with his ships. Stop Soda having a lot of energy, even though he's got too much already. Land forces are coming through, and let's take a look at Sodaquackers' attempts of attacks over here. He's got the commandos there right at this production. Got a lot more taking some territory. But he has been spotted. This artillery, this one lone artillery, is going to try and take them out. And it looks like these commandos didn't manage to take out that navy yard, but he does have a lot more in the area. Over here, he's taken this away from him, but he's also got the arrows from here there. That's Sodaquackers. Safran's taken this territory now, and I think he's a bit distracted with what he's doing over here. He's going to lose his... He's going to kill this energy well. He's taken out a bit of the economy, and he has taken some territory back. Has he kept his rocket? He has, and he's still got it in there. Nearly ready again. So even if Sodaquackers comes back here, he is going to have to try and fight through not only the forces, but another nuke before he gets through. From Soda's perspective, his strikers are coming in to try and take out the navy fleet here, which is probably not a bad idea if you can try and take it out, but I don't think the navy is actually being that much of a hindrance right now. It might be worth it more to try and take out the artillery that's here. But what is he doing with these commandos right now? He did manage to take out a production structure here at the cost of some commandos, and he is going to try and bring them down through this forest in the center here. Over on this side, though, it looks like Safwan is going to tear through this northern part of the map, and whatever's going to stand in his way is going to end up going down, but down here he's going to struggle a bit more. with a lot more production here and a fair amount more units here. But at this point, he's got a lot of units coming in as well, to be fair. So he's got a lot of reinforcements. He is having to deal with the attacks coming in on his main base as well. He is trying to find the structures that are up here. And it looks like Soda actually destroyed the artillery that was attacking him originally. I wonder if Safwan plans to use that nuke yet. No, it's ready, but it's not going to fire it. I don't think it's got the range to really make it useful at this point. And unfortunately for Sodaquackers, he is being assaulted by a lot of artillery here. And it is protected mostly by the sea from air units. Up here we got most of the SAM units, which is a fairly diverse and diverse army. And Soda's trying to bring his units up here to avoid the ocean here. So he brings his strikers only in the northern, well, the top part of this army formation. But they are going to run into the SAM that are hidden in the forests. And that are coming in through that direction, which is kind of unfortunate for Sodaquackers right now. It feels like he just can't get through anywhere. And it looks like Safwan's just going to try and use some units to take over the territory. And bring these other units down to put on a lot of pressure in this area. However, it looks like Soda has killed the units in this area, the naval fleet, and he's bringing in some cruisers to take on these missile ships. That could give him the breathing room with the Air Force to come in. But unfortunately, he's going to have another force to deal with very soon, once they finish taking over these territories. How is he dealing with the main base? He's got a lot of commandos here. He's taken out quite a few structures. And his structure there is still fairly safe. But the commandos have been caught. They know, like, Safwan knows where they are, and he is trying to take them out pretty quick. It looks like... No, it is built. Right. This always confuses me. From the enemy's perspective, you can't always tell when the nuke's being built already. You just sort of see your last known information. It does confuse me. Felt like it had already been fired or something. Anyway, over here we have Safwan, who lost his navy fleet here. He does have another force coming in. And we have some more commandos sneaking across there. So there's the transport jet. Is he actually building on this island jet? He does have this there, and he's got the commandos being built here. And they'll stop here to be sent off over there. So those commandos have been sent off. They are invisible. You can't see them right now. But if Safwan has spotted that, he will be able to send in some units to protect them. To seek those commandos out and destroy them. It looks like most of the SAM units have been taken out. In the ocean and on the ground. There are some still around, but that striker's managing to get a few shots in here and there. I don't know why he's doing that. He's bringing back all these artillery on haste mode. Oh, the rocket's coming in. That's why he's doing it. The rocket did have enough range all the way over there to get into this location here. And he's getting in as much damage as he can right in this. It's kind of a choke point there. He's going to bring his units back in now, I would have thought. Yep. And he's doing it as fast as he can. He's got a blue commandeer. He's got these guys on haste. And they're going to rush in there as fast as they can. Over here, he's got a lot of units from here coming in. Trying to come that way. He probably should put on the SAM units as well, because they're just building up in this location. And that's not where he wants them to be. He wants them all the way down here. Joining in this fight to stop those strikers. Not that there's many of them, but a striker getting free hits on your forces is never a good thing. From Soda's point of view, he's still got his units here. He might be able to take out these navy yards. He has managed to take out this area again. But the main commandos have been killed in this army, I think, or they did escape up here. And there's still quite a few left. He's going to try and take the territory. which I'm not sure he should be doing. I think he still should be using it very stealthily. Try not to take territory when you're in the enemy's base, and just try and do as much chaos as you can. He's setting up a defensive line, which, again, I don't think this is great either, because most of his units are artillery. So, except for time wasting, I don't think that's actually very beneficial. He probably should either bring his infantry back, use the tanks to go forward, and send in the infantry when he's got a lot of them. But he does have a lot of strikers, so he might just be using them as a meat shield for the strikers to do a lot of damage. Especially since I can't see those SAM units moving down yet. There you go, it looks like Safwan brought his navy back in. He's taken out these cruisers that were here. And he's going to try and seek out those navy yards that are producing those things. Yep, there we go. Over this way. Yeah, he's coming straight to that. And is he building another rocket? He's self-destruct that rocket now. He doesn't want it anymore. He wants to have a higher eco. So he probably plans to build more production structures. He does have 800 capital, so he could do a lot with that. Okay, setting up some units to defend these locations now. So it looks like Soda is taking his tank out that way so that he can take out those lone artillery that have strayed off or that are just left over from that area. And that tank will probably take them both out. That was quite a smart thing to do if it was intentional. Picking off those little strays that fall off. Always a great idea. But unfortunately, Soda is losing the territory up here. So the longer he waits, or the longer it takes him to deal with this army, the more chance Safwan has to cause more chaos to his main base over in the other side. There we go, his navy yard is under attack as well. Over here, it looks like Safwan's still trying to find those structures from the Commandos. And those forces are getting thinned out by these strikers because the SAM units are still up in that area. I think we'll just have to check. Yeah, there's still a lot of SAM units up there, but are they being brought down? No, the SAM units are being brought around the back. They're all coming down this way now. Which is a bit unfortunate for Safwan because he could have brought them this way, which is where the strikers are. He's been a bit cheeky, isn't he? He's placing his industry there this early. He's confident he's going to take this area. There he goes. Energy well is under attack there because Soda does have a lot of energy production and storage. And he's just going to hold out there. But I don't think he's got much going on these islands yet. I think he was pretty much dedicated to this is what I'm going to do. And if I don't survive here, that's the end of it. But he is having a problem with his economy now. So he's at 836, but he is in the negatives. Safwan, on the other hand, is at 1,400 a minute. So he's progressing really well. And he is heavily on the offensive right now. Soda's attacks over here are being extremely successful. But unfortunately, just not successful enough. So Sam's just missed this area. Safwan can see these guys with the amount of SAM units he's got, and he's going to try and cut across these commandos and hopefully take them out in the process. But there's even more commandos in his base as well, which he can see. And that is pretty much all of them. There are still some up here in this location defending himself. But Safwan is putting pressure all over the place in this location. Soda's main base is unfortunately getting taken out. He's lost his navy capabilities there. He doesn't have many strikers left. I can't see them, to be fair, actually. He's got strikers being built, the rest are in the air. Got artillery coming in from both sides. And unfortunately, I think that's it for Soda. He is absolutely surrounded by artillery, and he hasn't got enough on either side to fight this. The end of the match has been reached. I believe Sodaquackers has lost that, but he did an amazing job harassing the enemy with those commandos. So there are 2 videos on screen right now if you want to watch any more. Feel free to subscribe if you want to watch newer videos when they come out. And yeah, share your video in my Discord if you want to see your video on this channel. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you around.